Hello Aquarius, welcome to your reading for probably the last 11 days of July. I think this being the 20th at the moment. And as always, if something doesn't resonate, just leave it for someone else. And yeah, let's welcome in the Archangels, Ascended Masters, Light Beings, Star Beings, our higher selves, any other spirit guides you may have, Aquarius, as well as any other animal, ancestral or dragon guides that you wish to be present for this reading to assist. Okay. The Hanged Man, Nine of Wands, the Fool, and the Tower. Right, we're going to grab some more cards here just to get a bit of context. It does look like you've been working hard here, Aquarius, on something, and I think you are excuse me, I'm going to pop this on pause and just go feed my cat. Just made an appearance. Okay, so Aquarius, there is something that you've been working on. You've been working hard, sorry, is what I was saying. And it's looking like you're kind of taking some time to contemplate things. Let's have a look at the rest of the cards here as well. Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Swords. Wow. There's something that you could be feeling like you're done with. Underlying theme, Eight of Cups and Seven of Swords. Yeah, I think you're doing some reevaluation of your values and your beliefs, but also with regard to your emotional and spiritual and creative ventures. I think you might be moving towards something that's going to be more in alignment. This was the start here. So we have the Nine of Wands and the Hanged Man. So, you're pretty good at what you do here, Aquarius, but I think you've been putting in a lot of effort, putting in a lot of hours. And yeah, I think you're kind of contemplating whether or not whatever it is that you're doing is in alignment for you, because you could be moving towards something else. Currently, to Ten of Swords, finishing up with a new horizon, in the wings. And this is the Ten of Pentacles. And this new thing could well be something that's going to be more resonant with your idea of a legacy, with something that you can kind of create for the long term. And certainly probably something that's going to be more meaningful here for you, the Eight of Cups, right? And possibly, like we've already said, more in alignment with your creativity and your spirituality as well. So there could be aspects of the new thing that you're going to be doing, or the new project or new hobby, that's going to allow you to, feel more centered moving forward. And I think interesting thing is, astrologically, I think Uranus is pretty active at the moment, or there's something about Uranus going on. Sorry, I'm not an astrological expert. But, here we have the Four, which is, very much that Uranus energy, and the Tower, which is, the sudden changes. So, this is probably, could well be characterized by you making this change, Aquarius, and there may be sort of, it might be not just this that changes, maybe your work or your hobby. It could be other things that change as well. But I think you're having this energy, there's also an energy to it of freshness, of enthusiasm, and, with the Fool here, also activating your inner child. So there's something that's feels very enlightening about what it is that you're going to be doing next. You do have the Hangman as well, which is that energy of contemplating your enlightenment. Not as such at this point. You may have started to take action on it, but it could be just idea phase at the moment. But you're definitely going to be putting something into action here, general direction moving forward. I think a lot of us are going to go through big changes. So, this is not not surprising, and this could be a common theme throughout some of the readings for the next few weeks, if not months. This is a very transformative month, as many of you probably know if you're following the astrology as well. I kind of do like to keep up with the astrology, but in terms of remembering it, and you know, that's another whole kit and caboodle. I pick up snippets, so here we go. The outcome is Seven of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, I think there's something about this new thing that I've kind of got this warm fuzzy feeling now about this Knight of Pentacles. It's going to be really beautiful blend of your spirituality, of your creativity, it's going to bring in some, you know, some financial gains as well from doing this new thing, quite possibly. If not that, or it could be as well as that, there's going to be some new connections, maybe some new things that you're going to be doing. And you're going to have a really passionate focus here. Nine of Pentacles, you know, the woman's looking at the bird here. So it's symbolizing this idea of you have a nice focus, but you're really content. It's not like you have an obsession or that, you know, things are flying all over the place. It's like your ducks are in a row, you're calm, you're kind of feeling abundant, things are humming along, right? But you're also working hard because this is a 9, remember. And it's interesting, isn't it, that you have the 9 of Wands to start. This is like a lot of effort, and sometimes wearing down. So almost like a sapping of energy that goes along with the 9 of Wands, depending on the context, okay? When there's big changes, I'm going to interpret this as, you know, there's some energy drain that's that you've identified just recently, Aquarius. But this is not energy drain, this is energy balance, okay? Energy in and energy out. So it's like this balanced two-way street with your energy as well. But 7 of Wands, you're definitely, you know, creating boundaries. I think you're feeling free to say no to certain things, yes to certain things, and, you know, just feeling really more in your power here as the outcome, right? And you have in what you may not be aware of, Justice and the Queen of Pentacles, which is really nice. This is your energy here, Aquarius, fixed earth, okay? Really beautiful, nurturing, grounding energy. Yeah, so you may not be aware of it, but this next thing is really going to help you to align yourself and to ground yourself as well, okay? Or we could read it a different way and say that, you know, you may not be aware of it, but doing that body work, spending time in nature, being grounded, focusing on your health is going to help you to come into alignment and even greater balance here with these sort of scale-like things, either side of the stick, I'm not sure what you call those, but that greater balance with regard to this, probably that's going to contribute to success with this new thing that you're moving towards here. And you may have already started to sort of step into it. Yeah, so that grounding, you know, basically paying attention to looking after yourself in the 3D is almost what the Queen of Pentacles is saying, okay? Because there can be a lot of BS that goes on in 3D, but there can also be a lot of good stuff. And I think, Aquarius, you're going to be focusing on the good stuff that's happening for you in the 3D and that you can create. The Queen of Pentacles is also creative. Okay, remember we spoke about you moving towards something more creative, fulfilling. Perhaps it's got a spiritual flavour to it as well. And this could also be, this 8 of Cups could also be talking about the emotional, like, resonance that you're going to get from doing this thing. Okay, it's going to fulfill you in a lot of ways. So this is just fantastic. Let's have a look here what the dragon guidance here as well. Wow, the Chariot. Yeah, you are preparing to move forward. And I think maybe there is going to be a step here of pulling back from something or finishing something up or letting go of something, whatever kind of, however you want to conceptualize that. Because you're kind of moving forward into a new thing. This is sort of going into something that's maybe you haven't done before, but I feel, Aquarius, as though you're a bit familiar with the terrain. You've kind of got some skills and some understanding under your belt in terms of what it is that you're going to be moving into and how you're going to use those skills and develop them further. The Chariot is interesting because it talks about sometimes we still need to put more effort in to learn more things, to get things going. But it's definitely a forward action, okay? So, you know, your higher self is on board. And this is actually probably, Aquarius, to do with you and your higher self on board together, okay? Working with your higher self moving forward. 8 of Wands, yeah, fantastic. This is movement, change. Things are going to, you know, happen, right, at a fairly steady pace. 6 of Wands, wow, success. Yep. And other people, you're going to be recognised for what you do with this new thing here, Aquarius, which is awesome. Did I say dragon? Sorry, this was the wizard deck. We're now going to look at some dragon cards here, dragon guidance. Yeah. This is a really nice reading, very transformative. Page of Wands, yep, a new passion, something new that is sort of firing you up here, also activating your inner child. The Wand energy is very creative, okay? We've mentioned creativity quite a few times here. And the fire energy can also be spiritual, transformative. So something that is going to have a transformational feel about it. Like you're probably going to be pulling stuff from the past, doing some sort of thing with it, and then, you know, expressing it out or doing something kind of like that. Maybe an art form, maybe something creative that's sort of going to feel very, you know, transformative. It's almost the, you know, the theme for July is transformation, I think. Wow, 8 of Wands on the bottom of this deck. Yeah, and here we have another 8 of Wands, which is interesting. It sort of matches this 8 of Cups, doesn't it? The 8 of Cups talks about movement to something more fulfilling. This is talking about, yep, and it's going to be fairly consistently focused in a sort of a certain direction or a certain field, and there are a few things that are going to happen, and as a, you know, because of that direction and because of that movement. But it's also to do with the direction of your passion and your inspiration, your motivation. Okay. On the bottom of this deck we have the 2 of Pentacles. Yep, so you could be juggling a couple of things here. This is also talking about integrating your creativity and also kind of balancing this idea of practical life and spiritual life. You know, I think we have the Queen of Pentacles here, which is sort of your power, it's your card, Aquarius. We have earth and water in this 2 of Pentacles here. We also have earth and water here. So these energies are both very supportive and nurturing. This one's talking more about that process of change and of shifting. So I think it's Spirit saying for you to be consistent with those steps that are going to lead you towards the change you're looking for. Okay. I really like this rainbow that's coming between these 2 pentacles here as well. You know, and I think biblically, we're just going to draw on a bit of different symbology here. I think biblically, the rainbow sort of symbolise this idea of promise or hope. So it's a little bit like here of Aquarius, maybe you're kind of making a bit of a promise to yourself to, you know, take action on this thing or to do your best with it, or maybe to have a plan or something to that effect. And here we have the Magician. Yeah. You know, a lot of your talents, skills, resources, I had that feeling before that you were going to be activating, that you already, you know, with regard to your Chariot, that you already have some sort of skills under your belt here, but this is probably even digging deeper and developing new potentials and discovering new talents and abilities that you have here as well, Aquarius. And I think by doing this thing moving forward, you're going to discover those new talent, skills, gifts and abilities there, which is just awesome. Yeah, all the elements at your disposal, fire, earth, air and water, which is, you know, corresponding to the idea of passion, creativity, emotions, your intellect, okay, your ability to be logical, and your ability to be grounded, the physical body, like using your physical attributes as well, and physical skills. Here we have the Devil. So, yeah, this is just saying that I think this whole process is enabling you to, I think, move out of this no pain, no gain mindset, if we could say that. Because many of us are kind of conditioned into sort of believing that things have to be painful, that we have to struggle, that we have to, in order to progress. But there is a way to make things easier, but still work hard. So it's a little bit like this idea of working at something here, Eight of Pentacles, getting that joy and fulfillment from it, okay? And I think this could be what the devil is sort of saying here, because the whole theme of your reading in some ways, Aquarius, is about sort of, you know, letting go of this Nine of Wands here, or moving from a state of kind of exhaustion and energetic depletion into something that's going to really connect you to spirit, which therefore will rejuvenate you sort of on a daily basis. Like it's automatic rejuvenation, okay, that happens instead of the automatic degeneration or rejuvenation, if I can say that. Yeah, so there we have that. And let's have a look at the Three of Pentacles. Beautiful, very creative energy. You might also be collaborating here, Gemini. Sorry, have I said Gemini? Aquarius. Okay, you might also be collaborating here, Aquarius, as part of what you are doing. Maybe you're going to do some of this sort of on your own here, given you've got the Nine of Pentacles. But then there could be an aspect of it, maybe down the track, there's some collaboration or there's some assistance that you're going to need. And this could be what this is sort of talking about as well. But maybe you're just going to be offering your skills and helping others as well. So yeah, there we have it, Aquarius. Yeah, I hope that's been helpful. But you're definitely, you know, coming into alignment. Beautiful major arcana here. Justice, Chariot, the Fool, like that new journey feeling. Hangman, contemplating your enlightenment as well. So yeah. Oh, Magician. Yep, that's awesome as well. So yeah, I hope that's been helpful. I look forward to your next reading. In the meantime, have a great day, fantastic week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.